Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, Basic Economics with Joseph. Today's topic of conversation is I don't care. Now, what do I mean by that? When I say I don't care, I don't mean to be reckless or to treat my to be reckless with my life or to treat my body like trash or to just be a detriment to society. No, that's not what I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when I say I don't care. When I say I don't care, what I mean is I have consumed so much information and so much knowledge to the point where now I am starting to use that knowledge. All right? Like I said in one of my last videos, knowledge without action is just entertainment. And I don't care anymore. I'm going to do whatever it is I do. If it's build a company, if it makes social media, if it's writing books, if it's doing getting in shape videos, I don't care anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate saying you only live once, but that is true. You know, you it's especially when you have something that you stand for, something to provide to people to help better their life, I think at a point you just don't care anymore and you just do what you do. You do it even if you're scared, even if it's not ready, even if, somebody will say something. I don't care anymore. I could give a crap about, what someone thinks about me, how I make somebody feel. I don't care anymore. And it just comes to that, and it comes to that point in your life where it's like, hey, you know, do you want to live, how many people do you know have, they do the shoulda, coulda, woulda, what if, I don't know, we'll see, not sure. How many people do you hear with that type of rhetoric that comes out of their mouth? And guess what? 5 years goes by, 10 years go by, and they don't try anything. They don't even see what happens. Even if they fail, I don't care. I don't care if I fail. I don't care if I make mistakes. I don't care if I look stupid. I don't care if I make errors. I don't care if I lose money. I don't care anymore because I know that if those things happen, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and my failures and the money I lost and the errors I made. All right, because that's going to help me get better. All right, and I think when you don't care, it's a sense of freedom, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely a sense of freedom. It's a sense of freedom of like it feels good, like the proverbial tethers are breaking off. And again, like I think, I always relate this back to, financial literacy. And I think that's why they don't teach it. It's not so much because of the money. I think that's why they don't teach it. I think it's because you start to understand that sense of self-worth and self-confidence and actually in your value. And then what happens is you work on yourself and you start to reach your full potential. And I guess, and also when you reach your full potential, it's very enlightening. And then I guess you also see what truly matters in life. Like I said in my video, less is more. I work very, very hard, and I know that my hard work is going to allow me to be in certain positions and to be able to have things. But at the same time, those things that I work for that's not what's going to give me validation. My validation comes from here and here. All right. So many people's validation comes from the car they drive, the job they have, the title they have, the money they have. And that's okay. It's just that when they get stripped of that or they lose it, they don't have an identity. hmm And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at the point where I don't care. So expect to see a lot of stuff thrown your way, whether it's good, bad, ugly, green, blue, orange, tall, short, whatever. All right. I don't care, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I would challenge you to do the same thing. All right. Like not to, like I say, not to not care in terms of being a detriment to society or a loser, but in terms of I don't care, as in, you know what, I'm going to write that book, I'm going to launch that business, I'm going to create that podcast, I'm going to, whatever it is that you've been thinking of doing, and regardless of the outcome, you do it anyways because you I'm pretty sure at one point you do want to look back in your life and be like, I did that, I achieved that, regardless of, because I guess it's one of those things they say the best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The next best time to plant a tree is today. I think that's how the quote goes. And so that's the best advice I can give you, ladies and gentlemen, is why wait? What's the worst thing that's going to happen outside of, you know, as long as you don't, hurt yourself or bodily harm? What's the worst that could happen? For real, what's the worst that could happen? What? Lose a little bit of money? Possibilities versus probabilities. There's a reason why CEOs make all the money. It's because they look at things in terms of probabilities, not possibilities. And then they fine tune it as time goes on. And the next thing you know, you have a solid product. All right. Um, but let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Like I always say, educate yourself and educate others. Peace.